I love being in this space that the extraordinary scale of nature is just so dominant. There is nowhere else on the planet in which the absence of man is so deep and total. I find it really interesting that for most people, Antarctica doesn't even come into their sphere of consciousness. We think that these flat maps that we see where Antarctica is just a wiggly line along the bottom and then there's nothing below it. 25%, 30% even, of our world is Antarctica and the Southern Ocean. And it's massive, not just in terms of scale, but in terms of its influence across the whole world. It's both a driver and a passenger in global climate. What happens here has impacts throughout the world, from the neighbouring regions right up to the Arctic and everywhere in between. In the modern world, it's very easy to get caught up in human systems, to care about your job and money and all of these things that we work towards, which are important and valuable. But it's easy to lose connection with the physicality of the environment and your place as an animal in it. There is nothing quite like Antarctica to humble you in terms of remembering that you are just an animal that's at the mercy of the elements. There is no possibility to feel anything except small and awestruck, which are both positives in this case.
The total solar eclipse is when the crazy orbit of the moon is aligned between us and the sun. This is a fantastic deal. First of all, as an astronomer, you try to think like a machine. You think in numbers, you're thinking distances, light years and all this, but this is hitting you right on the base of your skull, in your animal senses, telling you there is something very wrong going on. It's one of the effects that the eclipse has over the human mind. Textbook eclipses are on a clear day with no wind and with comfy conditions. But this is happening at the end of the world, where nature is way stronger than technology. The weather here is the worst on the planet when it wants to, not when we dictate it. But the definite event that's going to happen, since we're going to have totality, and totality is not negotiable. You don't have to watch the sun-moon event to understand the totality. Totality is going to be night during the daytime for a few minutes. This, you can see it with all the clouds over you or none of them. Eclipses change you because it's a mythical event that happens in space. All the hairs in my body just rise just to think about it. It's a magical experience, truly.
Antarctica is a remarkable place. It has an incredible draw, and yet it's a place that we can't live. It requires a lot of resources and a lot of logistics to survive down there. Really, it is the contrast of such a harsh environment and such a richness of life in the ocean that is right beside it. And it's this incredible dichotomy of Antarctica. I think that that's the allure, is to go to this place and actually to see that life is flourishing down there. It's a visceral experience that you really have to be there in the flesh to truly appreciate. One of the hallmarks of any Antarctic trip is the experience with penguins. And it's hard not to anthropomorphize when you see penguins walking from the water to their colony. And we've seen the Gentoo penguin, which is the largest of the three brush-tailed penguins in the Antarctic Peninsula. They're very distinct, with white patches above their eye and a red-orange bill. We've also witnessed the Adelia penguin. They are black and white, tuxedo-like, with a distinct white eye ring. They also have a crest that they can raise and change the shape of their face to convey all kinds of interesting behaviors. Last but not least, we saw the chinstrap penguin. This is the smallest of the brush-tailed penguins, and they have a white face, black and white pattern just like the other penguins, and then they have this distinct black line that gives them their name, chinstrap penguin. Their behavior offers endless entertainment.
It's incredibly important, and that we're such a fortunate few that actually get to come here and feel it, this place that is almost like another world.
Antarctica is the last place. It's the wild continent. It's the wilderness of the world that is completely, it's our sanctuary.
It shows me how powerful nature is and gives me a lot of faith. Nature will always find a way. Maybe not as you like it, but it gives me faith on the future, Antarctica.